Live. I think we're live. Are we live, everyone?
Yes. Are we live?
Yes. I think we're live. Yes, we are. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new stream, and that is right. We are live on this beautiful January 12th, 2024. It is here, everyone. The final Iowa Caucus prediction stream. We are here with Mr. Trump 2024 enjoyer, aka Rob Groiper now. I don't know why he's going with that now, but say hello.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, yeah. And of course, Mr. Yeet is here.
Hello there.
I believe James and Ye will pull up eventually, but it's us three for now. We are going to do the final 2024 Iowa Caucus stream. Listen. At this point in time, this is a battle for second and third. Nobody gives a shit about first place now. We're at the point, like, has that ever happened before? Where no one cares what happens in first place because we just know what's going to happen?
I can't think of one. I think there might have been an example of that in the midterms, but
maybe.
I can't think of the specific one. But I feel like it might have happened once.
No, listen, Rap, you got to understand. The winner of the Iowa caucus always goes on to lose the primary.
Yeah, that's the cope now. Remember DeSim's 5 months ago? We're going to change the history. Now that they're down, they're saying, no, Iowa doesn't actually predict the winner. What was the campaign for Iowa? What was the point?
Now, it's some kind of magical thinking. What really matters in Iowa is that it's just putting up a strong showing, that matters much if you win it.
Now, before we continue with today's stream, I hope you enjoy these type of streams. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Don't gotta say much more, just click the join button today and you can help support the daily content that we all know and love. And like usual, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, or just want to support the channel even further, the best way to send is super chat via, well, the chat. Again, I'll try to read through chat as much as I can, but usually super chats are the best way to get your questions answered. And I already got one. That political guy for 5. Y'all are not ready for the Stapleton sweep on Monday. Real and true.
I don't know, Rap. I think this is going to be a hard race to predict. I mean, haven't you heard about the caucus cards?
Listen.
We have no clue how the weather is going to influence the turnout.
Should we start with, like, the history of Iowa, like, the past, like, Iowa caucuses and how they've gone? Or should we go right into the conspiracy stuff that's going on?
I mean, I know the county-by-county wide of 2016 fairly well. 2012 or before that, I know nothing.
Let's just go through history, right? Because this is the cope from DeSimps now. They're now saying, despite this being their entire campaign, well, the winner of Iowa doesn't usually win the nomination if they're not the incumbent. That's what their theory is now. Their theory is, since Trump's going to win Iowa, he's not going to win the nomination. So, 2008, Mike Huckabee won Iowa by 9 points, lost the nomination. 2012, Rick Santorum somehow won Iowa. I don't know how that happened. He lost the nomination. 2016, Cruz won Iowa, barely won, or lost the nomination. So, you know what the difference is this time? Compared to those other times that the winner of Iowa lost everything? You know what the difference is? Take us how good Trump is doing in New Hampshire right now. What is he at right now? 48%?
I think it's around 40.
So, either way, usually when, like, you know, hey, the winner of Iowa sucks in New Hampshire, Trump's doing good in both. And some of these people, they denied that for 8 months now, but now they're saying, well, history says that Iowa's gonna screw Trump over. But it's like, you know, the history side of things, this is ahistorical. Like, when was the last time a former president ran for a second term non-consecutively?
And then wins Iowa as big as he's likely about to.
Like, let's look at all the years from 1996. The biggest winner in the Iowa caucus was Bush in 2004, or 2000. He won it by 10. Just for comparison, Trump on 538 is up by 34 points.
All right, so on RCP, Trump has 43.5% in New Hampshire right now.
You just start looking at this and you realize Trump is going to win Iowa. And that's not what we're talking about today, because we all know Trump's going to frickin'... At this point, he may crack 60 if current trends continue, but the real question is second place, which we'll get to in a second. But first, Prince is Rider for 5. I told you last night, Rap, Vivek is going to overtake Ronnie and come in third, maybe even second. So that's the part that we got to talk about. Ron DeSantis. So, should we start the caucus cards? That conspiracy? Or what should we start with?
Yeah, let's talk about the caucus cards.
Caucus cards.
So, this is the theory. So, if you don't know what a caucus card is, it's essentially like they say they're going to vote. Is that what it is? Basically, like, you're committed to vote in the Iowa caucus.
Pretty much.
But here's the difference, though. It is not a, what's the word for, like, a guarantee that they're
It's
going to vote?
not binding.
Yeah. So, here's the problem with this. Yes, DeSantis has, like, 60,000, right? 60,000, I think it is.
I did not know the numbers for them.
Okay, just say 60,000. It's double what Ted Cruz had. The difference between Cruz and DeSantis, Cruz was at 5% 10 months ago, or 10 months prior to Iowa. He was picking up steam and then got the caucus commits. Now, you got DeSantis who got all of his commits 7 months ago when he was at, what, 35%? Now he's at 12. And they've done plenty of polling on it. These voters are going to break for Trump. And that's the problem with the DeSantis people that, yeah, they say they're going to vote for you 7 months ago, but now they're gone. Those voters are gone. So, Stricter Snake or whatever for 5. Are you going to do a video on congressmen that should be primary and who you endorse and what races you have an opinion on? I might do that in the future, but for now, I'm focused on the presidential stuff.
We gotta support Darren Bailey against Mike
True.
Bost, everyone.
That's the one I do 100% endorse. But, so the caucus cards, that's not going to change anything. Do they actually think that's going to mean that he has 70,000 votes in the bank already? Do they actually believe that?
Yeah, they act like it's very similar to early voting, where it's set in. They've already voted. That's not how it works. Iowa's only election day.
Oh my god. I thought that was like them coping. They actually believe that? That those caucus cards secretly mean that they're going to vote early or something?
Yeah, the 60,000 caucus cards thing is going to look really stupid if Rob only gets like 25,000 votes.
If he gets like 20,000 votes and they promise 60,000. Well, at that point, that's like 10% of the vote. Because we're assuming, Iowa's going to be at 200,000 votes. That's based on early projections. That's 10%. Barely.
Someone's asking to do a county map. Every county will almost
Trump.
Definitely be Trump, except for like maybe one or two.
Maybe
worst case.
Des Moines, maybe.
Des Moines, Dallas, Sioux. I mean, there's a couple I could see Haley narrowly picking off in Trump's worst case, but that's it. It's gonna be all Trump.
Yeah, the problem with doing a county map is it's a caucus, and I wanted to bring this up because I don't think enough people understand that this is not your traditional primary. It's not you just show up and vote. It's you physically stand in a room and you debate for I think it's 10 minutes. Each campaign gets 5 or 10 minutes. That you debate on your candidate, and you could pick off people from other candidates, and that's what people are missing here. Ron DeSantis' people could convince some Nikki Haley people, hey, vote for Ron DeSantis instead. Or vice versa. Trump's people could do that too. So they're not set in stone. They go there, they might decide on DeSantis, but it's not set in stone until they actually do the caucus. So they debate on it for however long, then they vote on it. And I believe they just do one round. It's not like the Democrats where it's 15 or whatever. All right. Worst case scenario, Haley cracks 20%, showing this party is screwed. Well, again, a caucus can be a bit misleading at times. That's what I'm trying to tell people, that if you convince, say, half of DeSantis voters to vote for you, well, yeah, your number's going to look better, but that's just because you got lucky there or something. Jets Unleashed for 2. What did the 2016 poll say who would win? I think it had Trump winning by 4 in Iowa, right?
Something. Yeah, it was about 4.
Which, that's a normal miss. That's 4 or 5 point miss, not 50 or whatever. Prince Writer for 2. UMass also saying Trump will win New Hampshire by 25-30. I did not see that one. Dustin Carter for 2. What would the result be of if Cruz had been the 2016 nominee? Actually don't know. If Cruz won? Probably same map except the Rust Belt. I don't know. Man Mug for 2. What if Haley somehow wins New Hampshire and gets real momentum? She won't. She's getting killed in South Carolina.
Trump's at 52% South Carolina.
Yeah, so that's already a majority.
Bird Brain's at 21.8.
So, again, you look at the conspiracy stuff, you're not set in stone. When you show up to the caucus, you're not going to automatically vote for the candidate. And this is where the ground game could become important. Say what you will about DeSantis, there's one thing he has an edge, funny enough, over Nikki Haley on. It is a ground game. Apparently, Nikki Haley has nothing. From people I've talked to, they literally have nobody, like, knocking on doors and then being caucus captains. Apparently, they have nothing like that. It's kind of like Trump in 2016. And I think that could be a problem.
I'm not even sure if the Haley campaign even expected to gain much in Iowa. I think it just happened naturally on its own.
But that could be a problem. Because there is one elephant in the room for Iowa next Monday. The weather. Now, I'm not going to be like Laura Loomer to claim what she claimed, but the weather could seriously impact the caucus and how it goes. What do you guys think about that?
I think it might hurt Rob, if anything. His base is boomers, like very old people.
You know, that's...
I'm cold. I don't want to go out for Rob.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like
it's super seniors, as Bears calls them.
Yeah. Well, I thought they were going for Trump a lot.
I'm just saying, relative to his overall support,
I guess,
that's Rob's best age group.
I guess.
Yeah, Trump's strongest age group is also the older vote.
But this is the problem, though, with, like, the storm, and I've always wondered why it's in January because of this, but people make it sound like, Iowa's never had, cold weather before. Let me tell you, that's like an average day in Iowa and Wisconsin and Minnesota. Like, -30 or whatever. That's going to be in the morning. All right, when it's in afternoon, I believe it's going to be, like, -2. So...
Iowa, at least during the colder seasons, is a very dark, cold, depressing place.
But I just don't think it's going to change turnout that much. I really don't. Because voters are used to it in Iowa. They are used to it being very cold during the winter. It's not like this is happening in Hawaii or something. It's like -30 in Hawaii, which I don't know how that would happen, but...
Native Hawaiian traumatized after 50-degree day.
Yeah. Trump supporters are younger. And that's why I'm saying, like, I think just Trump has got it. No matter what the weather is, no matter what conspiracy DeSims think of, I really think that Trump's inevitable in the state of Iowa. It's just a matter of how much. It could help Vivek, honestly.
Oh.
Vivek, we'll get to the prediction stuff in a second, because... Should we just segue to the prediction for Iowa?
Yeah, sure.
Should we... Let's go one by one, because I am actually a bit intrigued what everybody has to say. So, I believe Chris Christie is still on the ballot in Iowa. I don't think they could take him off, right? It's like New Hampshire. I believe that he's still on the ballot, so there are
What
some...
do you think, Rob Groiper?
Yeah, Rob Groiper.
Are you asking for my prediction?
Well, we're going to go one by one, but I'm just asking, is Christie still on the ballot in Iowa?
I'm not familiar with their ballot stuff, but I'd presume so. I mean...
I just want to know, because if he's still on the ballot, he's going to get like 1%, or at most.
Yeah, well, Chris Christie's negligible in Iowa because that's not really
True.
the base of Republicans there. Like, it would matter more in like a northeastern state that's more secular and
I guess, yeah.
more, yeah. It's just a matter of like the constituents there. I don't think it's really a factor.
All right, Prince and Ryder for 5. You should start the Iowa stream an hour early for last-minute predictions, last-minute breaking news, and enjoying the memes one last time. I might start a half an hour early. I might. That's actually a good idea. Should we? I think so. We might do that. Yeah, because I have some certain tweets to go over before that stream.
Do we, wait, What time does the Iowa caucus
since,
start?
7 p.m.
Especially
Central.
since it'll probably be
Okay.
called very quickly.
Yeah, so we might just start early on Monday. But all right, let's start with the final verdict. Let's go actually from polling the least to polling the highest, because I want to get you guys a prediction on this. Ryan Binkley, let's start with. Why is Ryan Binkley running?
He'll probably get like 0.5.
Now, I believe in Iowa, you just need like 1% of the vote to get a delegate. Does he qualify?
Some polls have him at 1%.
So, Ryan Binkley, you know, I think he's an evangelical pastor from Texas. So, I have my opinions on that, but I believe that's what he is. That's why he's running as the evangelical Christian conservative. That's probably why he's at 1%. There's probably some schizophrenic boomers that are actually voting for him. I mean, hold on. What is he pulling at?
He's the Facebook candidate.
Basically.
He's literally at like 0.5 to 1%.
Like, I believe he's literally just a pastor from Texas. That's his entire MO. Let me pull this up. Results. Ryan Binkley. And who the hell is David Stuckenberg?
He jumped in like last minute, and I have zero clue who he is.
Let's see here.
I don't think he's pulling at anything.
Ryan Binkley, yeah, he's definitely a just evangelical pastor. That's all he is. So I think he gets 1 delegate somehow, just because evangelical thing.
Evangelical, 1%.
He gets I think he pulls it off 1 delegate. Blinky mentum. Oh, man. But I think Ryan Binkley, you know, the evangelical factor, I think...
Breaking news.
What?
Breaking news. Mike Lee has endorsed Donald Trump.
He did?
Yep.
Wow. That's not a surprise. It's so sad, actually, like...
We love
Binkley
Mike
in a lot
Lee,
of
don't we,
ways.
folks?
What the heck is he doing running? I didn't even know this guy existed until, like, a month ago. It's like, Ryan Binkley? All I knew about him was I thought it was evangelical pastor. So... Sam Madsen for 5. The Democrat plaintiffs in Wisconsin released their proposed maps today, and their own proposed maps still have Trump winning 53 assembly seats over Biden. Really? I saw one of those maps. That's not going to be allowed. The Supreme Court will get involved. Prince Ryder for 2. This is his prediction. Trump number 1. Vivek 2. Nikki Haley 3. Ron 4. Ass Hutchinson 5. Ryan Binkley 6. And I'm assuming Chris Christie 7. Wow. That's actually a very, very interesting. Speaking of Ass Hutchinson, does he even qualify for a delegate?
I think he gets like 1%.
So does he get 1 delegate out of this?
I think. Yeah, probably, maybe.
Dustin Carter for 2. Wisconsin maps released. Will Republicans hold the state legislature? That's 1 map. That may just get thrown out if it's stupid. So, Mike Lee, only good Utah candidate. Yeah, he really is. He really is the only good Utah Republican. I mean, is there any other good ones?
Oh, never mind. He's like pulling at nothing now. He used to be around 1%. Hutchinson.
Well,
he used to pull at like around 1%. Now he's at like 0.
But now, I mean, Hutchinson may get some of the Christie people. You know,
Maybe.
Christie gets like 2%.
There's a non-zero chance he gets a delegate.
But I think he takes dead last of the people that are remaining. I think Binkley gets a delegate before him.
Why is he even still in the race? I haven't even seen anything from him.
Did he I thought he said he was going to drop out.
He's still in for some reason.
Very odd politics for 5. If Trump gets 20% of black voters, would he most likely win all the swing states? He would win in a landslide at that point. He would win all the swing states by a lot if he got 20% of the black vote. Who the F is Ryan Binkley? Frickin' some evangelical pastor from Texas. So that's why he gets 1 delegate because of that. Owens. I guess, you know, Owens is fine. Burgess Owens, he's not the best, but I can live with him. Better than frickin'
Oh, no. Binkley's pulling at nothing. Do we still hold on to the 1 delegate?
I'm still thinking for the memes.
Evangelical plan.
The evangelical is going to win the delegate here. For some reason, I think it's going to happen.
Libby T will hold this against you forever if you're wrong.
Well, I'm just saying it's kind of,
all of ET actually.
I don't really freaking care if Binkley gets a delegate or not, but I think he just pulls it off for the memes. He gets 1 delegate. It's possible. He just needs 2%. You know, it's entirely possible.
She's getting more delegates than Asa Hutchinson.
All right. Now we actually get to the things that matter. Let's start with Ramaswamy. Well, let's go with Rob Groiper.
What about Ramaswamy?
So, how do you think he's going to perform?
I don't know. I mean, he hasn't really had much in the ways of momentum lately, but there was that one poll by Barris that did have him almost tying Rob. So, I mean, it falls within range of statistical error. So, it's hard to say. He could end up being that guy who shocks everybody at the end and gets second place if things go really good for him, but I don't know. I haven't seen anything to suggest it. I think the momentum's with Haley. Rob has been on a decline. Vivek's been stagnant. It could go either way.
So, if you had to guess, what percent do you think he gets, roughly?
Maybe like 7%.
So that would mean about 3 delegates, which actually is more than Hutchison and Binkley combined, but still.
I think it's rough. It's gonna be roughly like maybe 9, maybe even 10%.
So this is my problem with Ramaswamy. He is definitely the unknown factor here. On one hand, I think he has momentum. I think there is something going on with Vivek. On the other hand, though, the polling has not indicated that. Outside of Barris, Barris the only one that has but 11% or whatever.
His main support base is younger voters,
and that's where it gets a bit messy. Because if turnout's higher, that could definitely help him. You know, the problem with Ramaswamy is if Trump was in the race, I think he may have a good shot at winning it. But Trump's in the race, and they appeal to the same voter bloc.
I think if Trump wasn't in the race, he would be first at this point.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Binkley's getting 2% in the civics poll. That's why I think Binkley's gonna get one. Dustin Carter for 2. We need Bush Mentum. Bush or bust. Right in W. Yeah. So I think Vivek, if I'm being honest, I think God. You see, the thing that's really gonna make this messy is the ground game. Ramaswamy has a ground game. So, and he's been focusing on some, I think he for sure gets 3 delegates, but I think it gets 10% of the vote here. For some reason, I think he does crack 10%. If he gets 10%, that's the biggest story of the night. That's gonna be the upset of the night. More than Nikki Haley DeSantis.
I mean, I'm gonna be real. I doubt ground game is gonna do much.
Well,
I can't remember the last time I've heard the words ground game uttered by a campaign that wasn't ultimately thrashed in the end.
That is true, but that's more. But the Iowa Caucus is supposedly different.
Well, it is. That's how Ted Cruz won. He had a good ground game.
I mean, also another thing revolving around Ben Carson.
Well, Ben Carson, we don't talk about that one because YouTube would probably ban me for saying that, but Ben Carson got screwed.
Paris says it like every other stream.
I mean, he did. Ben Carson did get screwed. I mean, can you just imagine, though, being a Ben Carson voter? You get some Ted Cruz shill saying, yeah, so according to my anonymous source, apparently, they use, a fake campaign website or something. And it's so according to my source, Ben Carson is dropping out and will endorse Ted Cruz. He barely won the Iowa caucus because of that. It's factual. You can look at the data. Dustin Carter for 2. What would it take for you to vote for Nikki Haley? Nothing. I will not vote for her. Nope. Only Republican I would consider voting for Biden for. Over. So. Daniel Kelly ground game. Well, that ground game didn't exist. I'm not going to pretend it did. So Ramaswamy, 10%. Ramas sandwich momentum. But yeah, I think Ramaswamy, I just think he's peaking too late. I think that he is gaining momentum, but I think it's a little too late for it to really matter. So we agree around 10% though? 9 to 10%?
Yeah, that's what, I already said that's what I think.
I think it's going to be around 10% too. Alright, now we get to the thing that actually matters. Trump versus Haley versus DeSantis. So who do you guys think is taking third here?
I think it's Rob.
Rob.
Okay. Well,
in terms of probability, I think second place is lean to likely Haley. aka Bird Brain.
Okay, so where do you guys think DeSantis gets though? Because I think there's a range of like 10 to 20% he's at. Where would you guys put him though, roughly percentage wise?
Maybe around 17.
So 17.5% roughly.
I could change that after the other candidates are kind of done, just to compare them.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say 15% for now. For me, Ron DeSantis, I think, gets 15. Nikki Haley, I
just think just logically including the whole ground game thing, that he's still likely going to outperform polling slightly compared to Haley.
Dustin Carter for 2. What if Trump picked Haley as VP? Still voting? He's not going to pick Haley. I can already confirm that. I mean, why would he be attacking her as a globalist if he was going to pick her? All right. The last one is, I guess, Nikki Haley. Here's my take. I think Nikki Haley actually ties for second. I think she ties with DeSantis. I really think that she is going to underperform polling and DeSantis will overperform. Why? Nikki Haley has done nothing in Iowa. And I'm starting to really wonder if these 25% in Iowa or whatever, I'm starting to wonder if it's just gaslighting.
I think Haley beats Rob by around a few points, I'd say, as of now.
But I think that it's one of those things when it comes to Iowa, weird stuff can happen. You know, I really do think that Haley not having any semblance of a ground game, and I know that's kind of cringe to say, but she literally has no ground game. She doesn't campaign there. She has no campaign people there. DeSantis at least has something. You know, it's one of those things where I just don't know if she really gets above 15 to 20%. I really think that's her cap. And of course, Trump, well, he gets the rest of the delegates.
I think if going off a big data poll, Haley's probably could totally be up against like 6 points against Rob in polling. And I think if you just take ground game into consideration, it just lowers a bit to like around a 3. It could be closer. It could be like 2. Second place is still competitive, but it looks like Haley's at least favored.
So
now
this is what we currently got then. Trump gets 23 delegates. Haley and Rob get 6 delegates each. Vivek gets 4, and Binkley gets 1. He gets 1 delegate. Hey, that's more than Bill Weld got. Or no, same amount, I think. Want to be shocked Trump gets 60. So that's what I'm talking. That's one part I do want to talk about before the Iowa caucus. In your
and also with just real quick, with Christie dropping out with a close margin, with a close race, that will help Haley a bit.
You know what? Now that you said that, I'm gonna just say Haley gets above DeSantis. I completely forgot about the Christie stuff.
Because I think Christie was at like
2 to 3%.
Yeah.
Barely not getting delegates.
That means a lot in this situation, though.
Oh, man. But all right. So we kind of expected this. Like, Trump was going to take first. It's really a battle for second. Hell, even third. Godsmack Air 69 for 5. I would vote for a half-eaten tuna sandwich before I voted for Haley. I agree. Haley would not be a good president. And cause the Republican Party go back 30 years or whatever. Chris will be on the ballot still. Yeah, but he will be on the ballot, but is it going to be enough to really impact Haley's margin that much? Plus, I guess he did bash her. So, you guys see that clip, by the way, where he said that, oh, they're going to get crushed?
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Oh, man. Haley sucks,
He's gonna get smoked.
Yeah, they're going to get smoked. But all right, so this is, I guess, the official prediction, but I do want to talk about going into the future primaries. In your opinion, who has the best shot of gaining momentum here? Let's just say, for example, just out of the blue, Trump starts to collapse in New Hampshire. Who has the best opportunity to gain something here, momentum-wise?
Well, that would obviously be Bird Brain.
Bird Brain. But, so, okay, like, for example, what do you think she has to get, though, to actually gain momentum, not like, oh,
In Iowa?
yeah. Like, what's the number? Like, let's say she's at 17%. Does she just need 17% to suddenly gain momentum, or does she need to overperform a bit?
She'd probably have to overperform, not just get second. Getting second will certainly help her, but to actually have a big impact on the primary, she'd probably have to get more like
30,
at least 25 to 30 or so. Yeah, at least 25 to 30.
You know, this is just such a like, we know Trump's gonna win it, but the battle for second is just, I don't know.
She would essentially have to do good enough, which could realistically lead to a path of her winning South Carolina.
I mean, she has to win South
Which would be a
Carolina.
heavy lift.
She absolutely has to win South Carolina. I don't see how you win the nomination without winning South Carolina.
Yeah, and she's down there like 30, so just think what it would take to narrow a 30-point lead in South Carolina off of Iowa and New Hampshire.
She has to win Iowa at that point, I think. She has to win it somehow.
Maybe, yeah.
Prince Rider for 2. If Vivek
at least make it very close.
Even then, I don't think it's enough, because, like, okay, you're still down by 30 in your own state, and people know who you are. Prince Rider for 2. If Vivek gets second, how does that change things? And this might actually be the biggest question mark. Vivek. I honestly have no clue how this guy's going to do Monday. He's an unproven commodity with no past results. I don't know.
I think he could be slightly competitive for third against Raw, but I don't think he has much of a realistic shot for second.
The problem with Vivek is, like
not
I said,
totally impossible, but it's like maybe 5%.
Okay, let's just assume that he takes second. First of all, Nikki Haley and DeSantis are done at that point. Vivek would have more momentum.
Haley would stay in for New Hampshire. Rob, I don't even know what he would do.
He would drop out. He needs second place. Let's see. Trump and Vivek will be cellmate. What? Vivek will super underperform polls. I don't think he's underperform. I think he's overperform.
I think he could underperform, but there's also reason to think he could outperform.
I don't know him. I just don't. Well, politically, I don't know him. I don't know if he can be the guy that, like Ted Cruz. He did like. He kind of
has a goofy political coalition.
That's where it gets like. Does he pull off some miracle where like it's like 40% young voters or something? He takes second. I mean, it's possible with the weather. I mean,
a bunch of young Trump voters just say, I want Vivek.
But there are quite a bit of young voters that want Vivek. That's his best group, I think.
Yeah, it is. He's probably gonna do really good in I think Iowa County.
Is that the one with
It's just it's Johnson County.
That's what I was thinking.
Lewis one. That is a very young population.
Let's see, a rap. Will Ron Pulling
do well there?
Let's see, a rap. Will Ron Pulling deactivate their account for Iowa? No, they're purposely trolling. The Sims fell for it. Do people actually think Ron Pulling is real? Do they actually think that's what's gonna happen?
I originally thought that was an account made to make fun of The Sims, but apparently it wasn't. It was ended up inadvertently doing that, though.
No, it actually is meant for making fun of The Sims. They actually believe it. They actually believe there's a real polling firm.
Yeah, I've seen some boomers saying that.
Let's see. DeSantis has several problems besides being behind. One, his current support is very soft. Two, his energy is not the best, so they may not turn out due to the storm. Yeah, I mean, DeSantis, his only saving grace is at least he has people on the ground. If that's the one thing that saves him from taking potentially fourth, it would be that.
Haley supporters aren't much more loyal than Rob's is either.
And the problem with Haley voters, if they're a bunch of like, they're just voting because Trump bad. If it's a bad weather, they're just not going to vote. Because it's like, what? Who freaking cares at that point? Wait, since the Ted Cruz thing happened in Iowa, what if someone says Trump drops out? No one's going to believe that. No one's going to believe that. First of all, Trump's not going to drop out, so not going to happen. DeSantis is up by 20. Trust the plan. Ron DeSantis is not a boomer, but his campaign is boomer implosion energy. Well,
hey, Rap, you should... Sorry to interrupt. You should put this image on the stream.
I will. I saw that. I love that image. But the problem with Ron DeSantis' campaign is they're just Ted Cruz people and Scott Walker people. That's all they are. Like, is there any, like, non-Ted Cruz person on that campaign? Is there one?
Not really.
They're all Ted Cruz and Skywalker people. They're all the same. That's why the energy's like, well, we're going to attack him for being pro-gay marriage in the year of 2024. What? Duster Carter for 2. What are you looking forward to most this year? Ooh. Honestly, the victory of Trump in November. Just being honest. Yeah, I gotta pull this image up. I love this. Like, who created this one? This meme? Who created this Iowa meme?
I don't know if they want to be credited on stream.
Okay, fair enough. But either way...
You have to ask them.
Oh, man. It's like Tim Scott, 11 to 12%. This was back in, like, I think, June? When Tim Scott was polling in third. That was such a while ago. Oh, man. Vivek Ramaswamy. Rob. It's just Rob. Perry
It's
Johnson.
always Rob.
Perry Johnson.
I've only called him Rob for months. My brain doesn't even know what DeSantis means anymore.
Prince is right over 2. We need BPP to back to counter Ron polling. True. Real. Let's see. Mike Pence with the fly. Chris Christie. I love the New Hampshire one with this Chris Christie with like 3 of the slides.
Yeah, that's the New Hampshire one.
Look at Nimrata.
Yeah. Without that's like there actually is there's might be a constitutional question with her. So like unironically, now they're trying to say it's a racist conspiracy. I found the New Hampshire one. But either way,
I mean, I could say something about the Nimrata context.
well, there is some serious like her parents were not born here. That's just fact. There's some question marks that she's technically not eligible, but
I was helping with the making of this, and I was finding one for Haley. It's like, let's do the president of India.
Godsmack AR-69 for 5. If the crap weather in Iowa benefits any candidate, it will be Trump because his supporters would walk barefoot in broken glass to vote for him. Yeah. His voters will vote for him, no matter what. That's the problem. It's like, who else has that? I mean, who else has voters that would vote for him over broken glass? Who? Maybe Vivek? Maybe some never Trumpers in DeSantis' campaign. But I mean,
The Binkley campaign on their way to the moral crusade through Iowa.
Real. Let's see here. Bro, why is Crispy so fat? That's the point. And I have to tell you guys a secret when I'm making thumbnails. It is impossible to make a thumbnail with Christy. He's just that large. I'm not even trying to be a jackass about it, but he literally is. I can't edit images with him. I don't know why, but it's just this.
It's time to go big, Rap.
Oh, good lord. Would Obama voters
We need to think big.
I guess, yeah, Obama voters would, but that's not Republican. So. But bad weather's going to hurt DeSantis the most. The committed blue-collar Trump supporter and the college-educated Haley supporter will still turn out while the DeSantis supporter is old middle-class man. True.
I will say Haley also does fairly well with normal boomers. Not the super seniors, though, weirdly enough.
What if Binkley gets 3 to 4%? That would be freaking hilarious. I hope he does. I hope he does. Reports say that Binkley plans to drop out and endorse Ron on Monday night. I don't believe that. Because why would he drop out after Iowa at that point? Just drop out now. Hey, Rep, remember when Christie had the town hall where there was no sound? Yeah, I remember that. I remember a lot of town halls with them. Such as the Viagra one, which I will never forget about. Who made this? Actually, I don't know who made... Well, I know who, but they're not going to be credited on stream. Because they don't want to be credited. Oh, man. Trump is actually doing worse with older voters this time, so dangerous weather conditions would likely hurt DeSantis the most. Yeah, he's pulling like 80% with young voters, right? It's some crazy margin.
Who, Rob?
Trump.
Oh.
Young voters. Dustin Carter for 2. Would you support Trump running 2020 if he wins 2024? He's not going to run 2020.
Yes, easiest question of my answer of my life.
He's not going to. How would he run?
I would support a Trump third term.
Rap will miss the Chris Christie town hall. I will not. Those town halls were awful. Waste of time. Bro, Rob just needs to drop out and endorse Trump to end this whole circus. I don't think he endorses Trump. I think he's be a petty asshole about it.
Yeah, he'll either be a petty asshole about it or endorse Trump to try to save his future political career. I think it's like, I don't know.
Well, knowing his people, they're going to say, oh, no, you got to go support frickin' Nikki Haley or something.
I think they hate Haley.
I don't know. Haley, I think, caused a lot of problems for them. They weren't planning for. Well, the problem with Haley, nobody likes her because she's a lying scumbag. She said on national TV, I'm not going to challenge Trump for the nomination a month before she ran, or whatever it was. And, Bears released his polls. His poll in Iowa, officially. Should I pull it up on stream? Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Republican Presidential Caucus. Let me pull this up. Godsmack ER 69 for 5. If you want to fit Chris Christie in a thumbnail, the cameraman has to be standing a mile away from him. True. Like, unironically, that's the truest thing I've heard. All right. Okay. Ron DeSantis, hold on. Yeah. Caucus is here. Polling. Iowa Caucus. Dustin Carter for 2. Trump made VP, Trump's VP in 2020 and the president resigns after. Oh, yeah, they make Trump the VP and they do the loophole where he could be the president. I mean, it's possible. There's nothing stopping him from doing that. Let's see. Rap, I'm not going to mention that. It doesn't work like that, Dustin Carter. It does. I don't think there's any limit on that. You could just say you're the VP and be the VP and win.
Can Trump Jr. be the VP?
I think so. They just got to be from different states. And I think it lives in Wyoming, right? Or Pennsylvania.
I think it was Pennsylvania, maybe.
All right. Let's see here. New polling from frickin' Barris. Binkley's at 2.5%. It's gonna happen. Yes, Binkley. Vivek's at 12. Ron DeSantis at 12.5. Haley's at 17. You know what? I'm just gonna... Yeah, you know what? After seeing that, DeSantis can be at 12%. That's not good. If he takes 4th...
Oh, wow.
What?
I just noticed how close he is with Vivek now on there.
That's what I'm saying, like,
Crazy.
Okay. If he ties with Vivek...
Alright, I think I'm leaning towards him getting like 13, 14.
Let's see how age
just
goes.
going off of that.
Yeah,
13,
this is the
14,
problem with
15.
DeSantis. Like, right here, look at this. Basically, all of his votes are, like, older dudes, older people. That's not good. Vivek's is younger. It's more diverse, so... It's Jover. Ron could actually take 3rd. If he takes 3rd... There is gonna be so much shit slung against the Sims.
Oh, damn it, Billy! It's snowing outside! We can't go vote for Ron DeSantis! Damn it!
Can you just imagine, though? What the Sims' excuses be if he takes 4th? I never thought that was possible.
Because old people don't want to go in the snow.
Listen, I don't think that was possible for him to take 4th, but there's a possibility.
This is Kurt. We went from like maybe a few days ago going, yeah, he's probably gonna get 2nd to, he might get 4th.
And the thing is, he will be pulling closer to Chris Christie and Ass Hutchinson than Donald Trump. Hell, maybe even closer than Nikki Haley. This is an unmitigated disaster. Absolutely crazy that he may take 4th. Well, he takes 5th. At this point, might as well predict Ryan Binkley in 4th place.
Chris Christie shocks the world in Iowa.
Oh, man. The December version of Jonestown happened on Twitter. Aw. Too soon. DeSantis got 4th because of a cold weather. The weather stole it from Ron.
It's snowing outside.
They're probably gonna say that. They're probably gonna say, well, if it wasn't snowing, Rob would make a 50-point comeback. At this point in time, you can't make this up. He's
the snowstorm that stopped Rob's presidency.
That's 40 points. And it's like it's every demographic. Let's look at actually I'm intrigued now.
And let's just go ahead and talk about how Trump has the strongest support, and just statistically, he's very likely to outperform polling in Iowa due to him being the strongest second choice.
Trump is winning every education vote. High school or less, he's winning 65%. Some, 51%. Four-year grads, 50%. Advanced pro/post grads, 42%. He's winning every group. Look at ideology. Conservative, he's winning by almost 50. Moderates, he's tied with Haley. Liberals, he's losing on. Ron DeSantis has no support across the board. What's evangelical looking like? Evangelical voters. Trump, 59%. Ron DeSantis, 16%. Isn't this a guy that's the evangelical candidate? Didn't he get the endorsements of Bob Vanderplatz?
Yes, and it's not enough because the evangelicals love Trump.
Bruh, it's the strongest group. Evangelicals, statistically in this poll, are the best group for Trump, I believe. Let's see here. Second choice. I'm actually a bit, interested by this. Yeah, right here. Let's see. Second choice voters. Where are you at? Yeah. I mean, this is just a mess for... And people are just making it sound like, oh, well, this could change overnight. You've been saying this for 12 months? 10 months? That this is going to change now? What's that sound? I thought that's just me then. Bro, he's doing better with evangelicals. Yeah. So much for that one. So much for the theory that, no, there's no way that, Trump can win evangelicals. That's the strongest group. Let's see. Trump wins the Iowa black vote. All two blacks. Oh, man. It's not 2004 anymore. Evangelicals like Trump more and hate Ron's fake religious pandering. Well, yeah. Listen, if he was being serious about it and not, bullshitting himself, he probably would be doing better with them. He should. But he's losing one of the most quote-unquote conservative religious vote in the entire country to a New York liberal, according to him. That's who he's losing the evangelical vote to, by 40. We should alter the weather for DeSantis to win. I don't know. Alright, so what do you guys have to say, though? Final thoughts before the prediction stuff. Or I should say, final thoughts.
The weather might have some impact, but I don't expect it to do much.
Yeah,
people can just drive their cars. It's not like the Caucuses are outdoors or anything. And these people live in Iowa. They get this every year.
And that's what I'm trying to tell people. It's like, it might change it a little bit. It may change 1% turnout, maybe. But they're making it sound like, these voters have never experienced this in their lives, Evangelicals have changed and are more Trumpy working class people who like economic populism. I agree with that. Bro, these Republican candidates and boomers think the year is 2004. Yeah. They really think they could have beaten Trump for being pro-gay marriage in the year of 2024. You just can't... I don't get it. Hold on. Universe 7 scum for €6. About Yankee cabinet video. Would a 52-48 majority be enough to confirm a Ken Paxton attorney general? Would there be more defectors than Collins/Murkowski? He should get them through. I think it's only two you have to worry about. Ken Paxton should be the next attorney general. They literally have entered a heated building from a heated car. It's not like the state is Florida. It's 10 degrees outside. Yeah, I mean, it's indoors. Why do people think it was outdoors? They make it sound like you have to wait outside for 5 hours. It's like, no. You just pull up for 10 minutes and leave. Could Trump have beaten Hillary in the Democrat primary in 2016 as a Dem? No. I think Vivek is going to win the Iowa caucus. No. There's absolutely no way. If that happens, I would just laugh. But not going to happen. All right. I think we're going to end the stream here, everybody. I think we're going to cut it short. Iowa caucuses next Monday. Now, I don't know what time we're going to start it at. Maybe 6:30?
3 days, Rob.
7:30?
3 days.
You know, this has definitely been a cycle over time. A very boring one.
Cursed, honestly.
Well, it just, like, nothing outside of the Sims being freaking lunatics. What happened?
Vivek just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's the surprise of the year. Maybe Haley doing a bit better than expected. But there's no surprises going to happen here. Unless freaking Vivek takes second, which be, A, I don't think there's ever been a jump that big. B, it'll be hilarious. So I kind of hope it does happen.
Well, the Rob collapse was definitely unexpected for a good amount of people.
Well, I don't think the collapse itself, it's like the magnitude of it. I think that's what got people. It's like, if he lost by 20 or 15, people be like, he didn't do as good as expected, but at least he did decent. Now he's at a point of, he may not even crack double digits. He's trending that much down.
Insanity.
I don't get it. Describe a Vivek first choice, Haley second choice voter. Doesn't want to be seen as a racist. That's the only one I could think of.
Anti-Trump. It's Ken Buck, actually.
Ken Buck, yeah.
It's Ken Buck.
Rap, final thoughts of the 2024 Me More before Trump ends the war on Monday? Well, you mean start? Well, I think Trump's going to win Monday. It's just a matter of how much. If he wins by 40 to 50, I think Haley's done either way at that point. Because at that point, you're just telling people at that point, just throw your vote away. If he's up by 40 to 50. It's entirely possible. Rob could have been the VP, screwed it up. Yeah. He should have never trusted the same people that's thought, we're going to run Scott Walker and Ted Cruz a campaign into the ground. We can run DeSantis a campaign too. But anyways, folks, we're going to end the stream here. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, folks, we will be going live at what time? 7:30 p.m. Eastern? I was at 8 p.m., but we may start a half an hour early. Because it might be a quick night. It might be a real quick night where polls close, not even votes counted. Breaking news, Donald Trump has won the Iowa caucus by 70 points. But we just gotta see what happens. We'll see you guys on the election night stream. Godspeed.